Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I am Vaibhav, your host for today. Our topic for today is requirements of the risk-based thinking in management system. It shall be taken by Dr. Abhimanyu Samrat. Our agenda for today is virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessing of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker, presentation by Dr. Abhimanyu Samrat, question and answer session, and last closing session. About Sadgun Sangh. Sadgun Sangh, conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with the mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sangh is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Let's know more about Dr. Kataria. Designation and organization. Chairman and Managing Director, International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualification are Doctorate in Business Management, followed by Mechanical Engineer. His experience are Rajasthan Atomic Power Project, India's first nuclear power plant, RAPP, at Rawat Bhata, Kota, built by Indian engineers. Worked as nuclear scientist for 11 years and successfully completed and commissioned the plant. Engineers India Limited, first batch of engineers to develop Bombay high offshore oil and gas fields, mega offshore complex platform, trunk and submarine pipelines, underwater inspection, oil gas equipment, etc. Det Norsec, world largest classification society, worked for 17 years at various capacity for the certification of fixed offshore installations, submarine pipelines, onshore projects, and personnel qualification. ICS. He is founder of India's first certification conformance assessment body established in the year 1999, provider of total quality solution, certification of management system, ISO, inspection, testing, and training qualification of personnel. His achievements and awards are received Lifetime Achievement Award for the contribution for the corrosion technologies from NACE International by NIGIS under NACE USA, social worker, protection of life, asset, environmental and safety. So now I request Kataria sir to please virtually inaugurate the session.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Introduction of our today keynote speaker, Dr. Abhimanyu sir. His designation and organization, MD and CEO, Samrat Corporate Consultants Private Limited. His academic qualification are PhD Operation Management on the topic a study of quality management system implementation context with reference to ISO 9001 standard. MBA, International Business from Institute of Management, Nirma University, QMS, consultant registered in NBQP, graduate in Science Mathematics. His area of specialization and experience are presented various papers, alumni of US State Department as Young Entrepreneur, Master Trainer of Z, founder and managing trustee named like Vikas Sansthan, having experience of 200 plus organizations, management, consultancy, execution, vast experience of corporate training, a true polyglot having ability to communicate in various global languages like Sanskrit, French, English, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Punjabi, and Sindhi. Non-executive individual director in GTU, GISC, or nodal agency for the Startup Gujarat Policy, BOG, Board of Governors, member of GTU, Gujarat Technological University. Please welcome Samrat sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes,
I just want to share my screen.
yes, sir. Hello,
Yeah.
Abhinandan sir.
Yes. I'm just trying to share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Your screen has shared.
So not yet visible, sir. I request everyone to please be there. There are some net connectivity issue at sir's place, so he will rejoin in 2 minutes. So I request everyone to please be there.
Can you see my screen now?
No, sir.
It shows my screen has shared.
There are present. You share the slides, sir.
Yeah, no, it is showing Zoom.
Just click on that presentation, sir.
Yeah.
So your presentation is open in background, sir. So you just need to click on that share and then you can able to share, sir, your presentation.
Yeah, that is what I did. It is showing me what? वही तो pause हो गया वही कहाँ से ये रिकॉर्डिंग का साइन
Sir, can you just share me that presentation copy so I can share from my side?
Now can you see my entire screen?
No, sir. Just we can see your desktop side, sir. So, sir, please do one thing, sir. Send me that presentation on WhatsApp so I can be shared from my side, sir.
Is there
If it-
anybody can confirm? I think it is showing here. My screen is sharing.
Yes, it's showing.
Yeah.
But presentation slide is not visible, sir. Yeah, sir.
it
Now
is
it's
here.
visible,
Now,
sir. Now it's
now showing,
visible.
sir.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Yeah, indeed. Now is sharing. Very good morning, Dr. Abhimanyu.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Perfect, sir. Perfect, sir. Now,
Yeah, so namaste. I'm Dr. Abhimanyu Samrat. Just I'm regret to taking your 2 minutes for setting up all these things. Let's start with the topic, the risk-based thinking requirements of all management system standards. So most of the all management system standards are now expecting risk-based thinking. Earlier, the quality management system was not having this kind of requirements, but from version 2015 onwards, this standard is also now expected about it. So today's session agenda I have framed out just for introduction after risk-based thinking in business environment. And there are some tools we will discuss about SWOT analysis and Kara. If any companies are joined here in this, so I request we can do, if people are interested, we can do some workshop kind of thing. If you people are interested in, and then next your questions and answers we will discuss about. So introducing about Samrat's, I am the owner, founder of Samrat Corporate Consultants Private Limited. Samrat Associates is our registered brand. We have, I personally is having more than 23 years of experience being a consultant and a corporate trainer. We have 3 different international business collaborations. Number 1, we are business partner with KLVD Kosher. It's London Synagogue, like the world's second largest synagogue. We are the business partner. Then we are business partner with the UL Underwriters Laboratories for Gujarat business. And we are authorized US FDA agent. So one of my agent in USA, we are having partnership for that. And personally, I am also US FDA trainer for PCQI FSPCA. So that we have the coming training is announced on US FDA website. Also, we can see there our new training is coming on 21st, 22nd, and 23rd October. That is directly by US FDA for PCQI. Then we are actually our more experiences in food industries, though we have more than 85 different product-based industries consultancy experience so far. More than 250 clients in last these 2 decades. So these number are showing like we are into real implementation rather than increasing the number. So we are not behind the numbers, but all these 250 satisfied client are we are feeling proud for that, and the real systems implementation is our forte. That is our USP. Out of this 250 clients, there are 25% are large scale clients we have served so far, and 75% are MSME. More than 5,000 candidates trained so far, and we announce our own trainings on quality, environmental, occupational health safety, food safety, and so on. Large organization, if I say as a client, are like Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Jamnagar Municipal Corporation. Recently, we achieved a project for Somnath Temple Trust. So the entire Somnath Temple, will be the consultant for them. And there are so many other business organizations like Amul. There are 3 unions. We are the management consultants, Balaji Wafers, and so on. Like there are so many other small organizations we are consulting. You can check on our website for that. International clients also we have in Kazakhstan, USA, Dubai, Nisha, Sri Lanka, and so on. I am alumni of US States Department. I was invited as a young fellow entrepreneur from Bharat. It was a entrepreneurship exchange program. So Indian entrepreneurs are invited by US government, US State Department, and their entrepreneurs, their CEO, young CEOs are also coming here for exchanging knowledge. They are working with us on yearly basis. Then I'm also board of governor of India's third largest university, Gujarat Technological University. Like in Gujarat based, the largest university it is, and having more than 486 institutes in that university, and approximately 4.5 lakh students are studying in that. So, and I'm personally qualified for 15 different international standards as a lead auditor for, let's say, for quality management, environment, food safety, oil and gas, energy, FSSC, BRC, medical devices, and so on. I did my PhD in operations management, and the subject was also on context implementation of QMS as per ISO 9001 standard is concerned. And my being a student journey, I don't want to stop anywhere. So it is my hunger for learning all the time in my entire life. So I joined this last month onwards. That is Accelerated General Management Program from IIM Ahmedabad. So after 1 year, I'll be again add one more feeder in our head. Like I will be alumni of IIM Ahmedabad. So let's concentrate. Let's come to the point. Fundamental requirements of management systems in that basic risk-based thinking. So here, there are 2 clauses of the standard is showing for risk, is discussing about the risk. So clause number 4.1 is understanding the organization and its context. I'm also trying to share the share here. the standard itself. If you see the standard context of the organization, 4.1, the clause says the understanding of the organization and its context. The organization shall determine external and internal issues that are relevant to its purpose and its strategic direction, and that affect its ability to achieve the intended results of its quality management system. The same sentence is applied in each and every standard, like all management system related standards has the same sentence. Let's say, for example, it is environment management system. So here only one word has changed, environment management system. If it is occupational health and safety, so it will be occupational health and safety. If it is food safety, it will be food safety management system. So basically, your organization has to understand about their external, internal issues which are relevant to their business purpose. What is their business, what they are selling, what is their income source, why they are running business, and their strategic direction, where they want to carry their business. These are the fundamental need of the requirements of the understanding the organization. So it is a first clause of implementation in all the management system standards, and in that understanding of the organization, that is the main thing. So first, the organization should understand themselves, what they are doing, and they have to keep on updating, they have to keep on monitoring these all contexts. So the organization shall monitor and review information about these external internal issues. Here, external and internal issues can include positive and negative factors, both the way. So why the context word is taken care here? Why the context word? Why this much of tough English is used here? So I remember when the Nigel Croft, he was a European consultant, and he was a chairperson of ISO 9001 2015 committee 176 subcommittee number 1. He was chairing, under his chairmanship this standard was formed. This standard was designed. We invited him to Gujarat and he delivered this comment, like why we put this word exactly, the context, why we wanted to make it tough English. So actually it is we have to understand the organization and its issues. It is easy to understand if we can write. The intention is that we have to identify the issues, external and internal issues we have to identify. But issues, if we see, they are always in a negative side. What about positive issues? So if we say there is a positive issue, that again it's difficult to understand. Is it possible it can be a positive issue? So there are different examples I want to share about the positive issue. It is possible. Let's say, for example, Toyota business. Toyota is a car manufacturing company, and they have a business in most of all the countries in the world. It's a global company, and they have their fantastic business since last more than 2 decades in India as well. But if you see the Toyota, if we study the case of Toyota, once upon a time, Toyota was having a car model named Qualis in India. And they have right now the current model is Innova, Toyota Innova. They are coming with these models, whatever model they are coming with in Indian market, it is the quality of the product is such a best. It is a classic product they are producing at an optimum cost. So it is attracted by all the taxi segment. So all taxi drivers, they are always going behind. So there are so many taxis standing around you with the same model. And if as a businessman, if you are driving the same model, it looks like you are also a taxi man. So business people have started stopping to buying it because of the model is considered as a taxi. This selection by the customers was a positive issue because of the positiveness of the Toyota. A company has produced a fantastic product, but it has considered the market has taken up it in a different manner. I have one more example in this. Uh, Amul is having so many variants in milk. Like there are low fat milk. You can make. I think they have more than 14 different varieties of milk. Like uh, mm, people are appreciating milk is gold. Amul Gold is the milk is a brand, but there are so many other variants also. Tone, double tone, there Moti, and there are different. Amul is having Amul Shakti, different category of customer segments of customer they want to serve. Once upon a time, they found that the tea vendors on the road, they also need a Amul milk. So they prepared a special version of special category of a milk that is tea special. The name of the variant itself is a tea special. What's the specialty in that? The point is when in Indian tea, when we prepare, so if we keep it for a couple of minutes, there is a layer of cream is coming on the top. It's normal, it's a natural thing because the Amul, the milk is having fat. So the fat always separated and it is coming on the top because the fat is having low weight than the milk particle. So fat always come on, so on the top, and people don't like that. So so Amul did a homogenized milk with low fat because in tea we don't need a fat, we need a milk only. The taste should be there. So they did this. They applied a science and they reduced the fat content in that, and they homogenized. So if you prepare a tea from the tea special variant, you will not have a fat layer on your tea. That was objective. But because of that, a homogenized milk, the female, all the household people, they have took it in a wrong manner. Because of that, if you are preparing curd in the home, so the curd quality is getting better. If you are making a curd from a Amul Gold, which is costly product, but tea special curd is more constructive, more structured, and more flavored. So the intention was not to prepare because Amul is also selling their own curd. So that because of tea special they introduced, their curd market has doomed. Their curd selling was affecting. So people were not buying curd by Amul. They were preparing curd at their home because there was a cost effectiveness also in that. So these are kind of a positive issues in the organization also possible. There are negative issues also, like there are so many organizations, they have big issues with man, machine, material, method, and so on. So it is there, it's normal. If organization is not having any issue, that means there is something problem, some big problem they are facing. So if organization is running, that means they are having some problems. So these all things are positive and negative issues. And these issues can be from internal source or external source as well. So if we see this, if we see about the external source, or can we come from cultural, market, competition, technological issues, social. So here there is one more concept is pastel analysis. We will discuss about this in the next slide. So basically to understand 4.1, the positive and negative internal external issues is equal to context of the organization. So let's come on the presentation. So how the risk, how we can find out the risk. So clause 4.1 say understand, find out the context, understand the organization, the scope of work, and then find out what are the issues, maybe internal source, maybe external source, maybe positive issue or negative as well. And the next clause 6.1 says, if you have identified your context, if you have identified your issues and they are risky, you have to understand, is there any risk associated with that? So then you have to take proper actions to address that risk and opportunities. So we will understand about the opportunities. See, there are three different words of opportunity, three different meanings I'm going to share here. The first fundamental opportunity meaning is a dictionary meaning. We understand, if you Google it out, what is the meaning of opportunity, it always will show in the future tense. It will show the what opportunity I'm going to achieve in future. Normally we use in our nomenclature, in our normal English communication, we use opportunity for showing future tense. But there are two other understanding, two other synonyms for the same word, which I'm going to discuss here. So here is the risk and opportunity. That is a different meaning. This opportunity is not about the future tense of the opportunity. We will become a number one in the world. That can be a future tense of the opportunity. But here, Standard doesn't expect that in the future tense, like after 10 years, after 50 years, we will be like number one in the world. What's the beauty of implementing today? What is the reference of your context of the organization today? So this doesn't mean in the long future terms aspect. These opportunities are real sense which you are taking actions on the opportunities today in the current present tense. Today means in current present tense means maybe last 6 months to next 6 months. This 10 year we can consider is the current period. So current present tense we have to consider in this. We will also read the 6.1 standard next on. Let's go further. How to identify the risk? How to understand the context in the business? So basically, our intention is to identify the risk. Risk is khatra, jokhim. हम जो जोखिम उठाते हैं. So one phrase I can quote here in English we call higher the risk, higher the profit. So is it good or bad in the business? Taking risk is good or taking risk is bad for the business? Anybody can comment on this?
Risk should be calculated, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So taking risk is a good sign or a bad sign?
It is good sign.
Okay, so you are a risky man. You are a risk taker. So it is even on the sometimes like we call it. It is in behavioral aspects. It's a risk taker. Someone is risk taker, and someone is conscious, always keeping shy. So in business, why we do business? Business, it means we are taking risk. So in business, the intention of the business is taking the risk. But these risks should be calculated, as the gentleman told that the risk should be calculated. It's not like a haphazard way we can take a risk. It is not appreciable. Otherwise, you cannot understand your business, where it is going, how the profit will happen, and how it may be a big loss possible. So what kind of risk we are talking about? How to identify risk? How to understand the risk is there or not? See, what happens in the business normally, if you are running a business since many years, in that scenario, every day you are coming across so many issues you are resolving. You hold some issues in your plan, and you know that okay, remain there. That risk is okay. I will keep it. That is possible, and there is nothing wrong that one cannot finish all their risk at a time in single day. It's not possible. We have to plan for the future in that case. The point is risk. How to identify the risk in the business? The standard says we have to identify the internal, external, positive, negative issues. how to identify these issues. So we can take two management methodologies. One tool is 4M. So we have to identify from the man working in the industry, in the company. Is there any risk? Is there any issue associated with man? Maybe man are internal or external as well. So is there any issue with respect to man? If we consider man, so standard says man should be competent. Your people should be competent. So competency definition is coming from your experience and skills. So your people should be skilled and experienced. To so if you are doing a HR interview, so normally what should we check in the person? So ideally in a man, you have to assess four things. One is their eligibility criteria with the education. With that, education is a first point, though it is sometimes not relevant, but that is essential. So the education certificate, the degree, it is first. And then the main discussion in the interview is happens on the basis of the skills and experiences. So the fourth thing is the knowledge. Knowledge is beyond the scope. Knowledge is relevant to other interested parties activities also. Knowledge is also about the application of the products, applications of the raw material, or the issues or positive, negative, internal, external issues are which are not relevant to your business, nearby associated activities also. That knowledge is also essential. So man is having issues in mostly in education, in experience, in skills, and sometimes is knowledge. Then there is second M is machine. So issue we can find from machines. So machine are having two areas where they can give the risk. The fundamental area is a breakdown, machine breakdowns. That is a risk that is always affecting. But if we want to reduce the breakdown, so in a human being, the entire world has come up with the concept of preventive maintenance. So we are human, we do so many projections and we understand the machine and we keep on updating the machine. We keep on maintaining the machine. So that is preventive maintenance. So if there might be problems or issues, maybe positive or negative issues of machines with respect to preventive maintenance and breakdown maintenance as well. Then third M is material. Material is with respect to, there are three areas of thinking of material. One is raw material, second is in process material, and third one is finished materials. So your business issues might be associated with all these three levels of material. And at the end, fourth M is method. Method having again two areas to look on. One is number one, where the method is not established. So where is a gap? So mostly I saw auditors, they find out where the methods are not established. So they always insist the auditee, the organization, establish the methods, implement as per the established method as well. So main objective of standardizing or certifying an organization is to assess, auditor always assess the organization has their methods are documented and are they following their methods as they have documented or not. So main in normal things, there is a phrase we use in ISO systems, which is write what you are doing and do what you have written. So that is a main thing for about method. So where is a gap where the methods are not established? Second in method, second point is in method is which methods are poor, which methods are need improvement. There are methods established, but they are old, they are not updated, they are not updated with respect to again man, machine, material, which are updated. So we have to identify in the organization, we have to identify these issues. And there is one more is a pastel analysis. We saw the standard in the note 2. It was showing some social, technological, economical, competitive, all these requirements are mostly these requirements are covering by this management concept named as pastel: political, economical, social, technological, legal, and environmental. So organization can have issues, their internal politics, they might have issues from the external politics as well. Maybe external politics from their local, regional, or national or international as well. Today we know international politics is affecting lot many businesses. India-China relations are affecting or creating positive negative issues. There is economical issues. There are economical issues also. Again, economical issues are also with respect to internal as well as external. So internal economics of the organization, how their pattern of finance, how their pattern of revenue generation, their expense, and what about the external issues, external economical, the economy of the country, the economy of the region, of the entire world. So we know there is a crunch going on since last one decade for economics, international economics, but India is doing good in all these aspects. So this is how, uh, is it these international economics or your internal economic is affecting, is creating any issue? We have to think about that. Then social activities in Indian context, there are so many, we have so many social okay. So then social, it is there are so many social activities in India we have, and there are sometimes affecting. Let's say for example Ganesh Utsav, it's good, it's positive issue, it's a positive thing for celebrating. Celebration is always appreciable, but that affects the productivity in the production system. That might be having issue, the people, less number of manpower is coming because of the festival season. So these kind of social issues also can be affected. Social can be on gender biasness also. There are industries. Once upon a time in India, the female was not ready to work on the petrol pump, but nowadays there are so many petrol pumps, you'll find that the female are also working, and there is no problem, there is no discriminity in that. So we have resolved that issues. Of knowledge, mainly legal issues are connected with respect to people are not aware about the regulations and act. And there are environmental issues as well. So environmental are like are natural calamities. There might be earthquake, there might be flood, rain, thunderstorm, and these kind of things can affect on the business, on the day-to-day activities. So is there any issue on the organization regarding this? This we have to identify. The detailed identification, detailed determination is needed as per the standard is concerned. So there is one more tool, SWOT analysis. Here in front of us, we can see, we can set all the positive negative points in this brackets. So if we see the SWOT analysis, this is a management study, this is a theory which we study in MBA schools, but it is exactly suitable for the standard requirement clause number 4.1. It says internal, external, positive, negative issues where to identify. So it is 2x2 matrix where we are identifying internal positive is strength, internal negative is weakness, external positive is opportunity, and external negative is threats. So here again the word came opportunity. So here opportunity is not that opportunity which we were discussing about the English dictionary meaning, which means in the future tense. Once upon a time, we will become number one in the world. Once upon a time, we will be the highest production system. We will in 2050, 2050, we will be number one in the region. Like that, opportunity are not expected here. Here we are talking about the issues with respect to external, but they are positive. So I can give the example exactly. The example the case study we discussed about Toyota had stopped the production of Qualis and stopped many times the production of Innova as well. That is their external positive issue. Because of the product is good quality, it's a positive, and the external means customers or external parties for Toyota. If we do SWOT analysis for Toyota, if we do a context analysis for Toyota, so Toyota can say that in their opportunity for improvement is here. That is, they have to stop the production because their market segment is changing, and that influenced by customer. And who are the customer? The taxi players, the taxi owner. They all are leading Toyota to change their brand impact from the business car to from a family car to a taxi. So there is a issue. So it is external positive issue. Here, there is no sense of writing Toyota is number one in the world and it will remain number one in the world in this SWOT analysis. So here, the different perspective of utilizing the word, the term opportunity. So the context, the issue, the internal, external, positive, negative issues, we can find out. We can just case of discussion. If anybody wants to discuss about their internal, external, positive, negative issue, we can do further investigation. We can do further exercise on that point. So this tool, we can think for this tool is used for identifying the context, to understand the business, to understand the organization. And I strongly recommend, standard doesn't say that, but I strongly recommend this activity shall be done by each department of the organization, not a single SWOT analysis of the organization. It will be appreciable if, let's say, a normal manufacturing company, they have normal 6 departments: manufacturing, quality department, marketing, purchase, stores, and management. These are fundamental 6 departments always there. Maybe more, depend on the organization size, their product, their variety, industry, but normal on an average 6 departments are always there. So if we do each department team thinks they do their SWOT analysis. The objective of SWOT analysis is identifying the context. Internal contexts are issues which are internal, external, positive, negative with respect to that department. If we do that, then and we amalgamate all 6 departments data and we get the number, there might be fantastic more than 100 strengths, more than 100 weaknesses the entire organization can come up. And these strengths and weaknesses, these positive negatives might be identified by the users who are on the shop floor, not by the top management who is sitting in his office. So if users are documenting these, they will be more concerned about addressing them. They will be more concerned about reducing their issues, eliminating their issues, or at least they will reduce their pressure, their risk source. So overall, this is all about the identification of context. So we can use this kind of Excel sheet also, rather than writing it in that 2x2 matrix. It is very easy to write down the strength equal to internal positive, weakness equal to internal negative, opportunity is external positive, and threats are external negative. Each department can produce like this way. That is better. Next, most of the organization are following 4.1. They have their SWOT analysis. It's comparatively easy to understand the organization, but what to do after this? So people are stuck. Like after getting it, these all requirements they understood, they followed, they identified the gaps, but what to do after? How to fulfill these gaps? So again, the standard says in the clause number 6.1 is addressing these risks. So if we go to the standard, clause number 6.1, here. So actions to address risk and opportunities. When planning for the quality management system, the organization shall consider the issues referred in 4.1. Here is also standard saying clearly which risk we have to address. We have to address the risks are already identified in clause number 4.1, which are the context of the organization. Context of the organization means organization's internal, external, positive, negative issues. So we have to discuss these issues. We have to shall consider the issues are identified in 4.1. And the requirements referred in 4.2 determine the risk and opportunity that needs to be addressed. So 4.2 is the needs and expectations of interested parties. We have to understand the interested parties as well. So what about interested parties? Interested parties are like the external and internal. We do in the SWOT analysis what is external and internal. That is here external and internal are with respect to internal interested party and external interested party. That only we are going to discuss. Internal interested parties can be employees, departments, internal with interdepartment issues. External can be your customer, supplier, legal authorities, your neighbors, competitors. These all can come under external interested parties. So the standard says we have to consider external, internal, positive, negative issues. The same thing. And here, standard defining what to do, how to address. See here, standard doesn't say eliminate all these risks. It is saying take actions to address the risk. So don't sit idle. At least give address. At least address them. So address can have a different options. Number one, ideal option, the most preferable or the most suggestible option is eliminate the risk. Then if you can't eliminate, you have to run the business. In business, you cannot eliminate all the risk. In that case, you have to reduce it. So how you can reduce, how you can prevent, how you can do some mechanics, some actions where the undesired effect, the risky effects can be reduced. That all things we can think of. So standard suggests here, number one is give assurance that the quality management system can achieve its intended results. So after risk treatment, during the risk treatment, it should not be like to stop the business. After all, we have to assure and give the assurance the business will run. Though the issue is big, though the issue is difficult, but business will sustain. We have to see first that business should not, or these risk treatment should not based on the business. It should for the business. Then enhance desirable effects. So understand what can be the desirable effects. Then prevent or reduce an undesired effect. We have to think about and achieve the improvement. After all, there should be improvement. So if we see this SWOT analysis, identifying SWOT in this Excel table, it doesn't give any sign where we have improved. It just shows what are the issues, what are the questions. These are the problem statements we have derived. That's it. It's not solution. It is the tool, SWOT analysis is a tool. Clause number 4.1 is suggesting to identify the issues. And then 6.1 says, now the solution. So what solutions are? The organization shall plan actions to address these risks and opportunities, how to integrate the integrate and implement the actions into quality management system processes and evaluate the effectiveness of these actions. So take actions, integrate, implement. So we can integrate with other issues also. Maybe 2-3 issues are having same action. It's possible. And then you have to evaluate your actions, your plan are following or not. People are following your instructions or not. In the organization, all these SOPs are followed or not with respect to risk control. And actions taken to address risk opportunities shall proportionate to the potential impact. So if your issue is very big, so let's say in the year 2001 somewhere, the Toyota had a sustainability issue because their profits were going down. Their sale was increased, their market share and market growth was going higher, but their profits were getting down. The reason was the Qualis was the highest selling car, and that's why people were not buying any other car in the basket of Toyota was serving. And because of that, the maintenance was taken care by the taxi drivers, and they are little mechanic. They do some here and there and they manage it. So they are not layman families. Family cannot understand the engine, the parts, the processes of the mechanics. So they always give to the service station, and service station has a huge profit from there. So all the automobile company are most of them are having majority of profit are from the maintenance, not for the selling of the product. So that was the reason they have stopped because their profits were affected. So the proportion of this issue was so big, the potential of impact was so big, though they were growing, they were increasing their market share, everything was looking good, people were appreciating their products, but then also they took a strong decision. They addressed this issue with taking a strong decision: stop Qualis, stop production of Qualis. This it should be accordingly. So you have to understand the potential impact of the problem, and then you have to take the actions. If we come on the point here, risk, how to assess the risk. Risk is having formula of the risk is there is a combination of its probability of occurrence and the severity, consequences. So by that way, there is a mathematical modeling of that formula: risk equal to probability multiplied by severity. खतरा, risk मतलब खतरा, in Hindi we say संभावना और तीव्रताओं का मिश्रण होता है खतरा. तो खतरे की संभावना कितनी है and खतरे की तीव्रता कितनी है. The probability of a risk is how much, and the severity is how much. That we have to understand, that the multiplication of both, the impact of both the point will generate the risk, will give the magnitude to the risk. So it is just, for example, if I'm touching a normal plug and I got a shock, earthing shock, what is the risk? What's the probability? What's the severity? If there is an earthing is an electric shock, the probability can be higher, but the severity is very less. There are nowadays in most of the facilities, there are MCBs, ELCBs are installed, so they tripped if any shock is released. So in that case, the risk is there. Risk is less. But if a person is coming across a 440 watt where the signboard is given as a risky zone, and he is accessing that area, so the probability may be less, but the severity is very high, the extreme. So the risk is higher. It's possible. Again, so risk is a game of understanding the probability into severity. The same formula is used by every risk assessment model. Maybe it's food safety, maybe it's occupational health and safety, maybe it's environment, maybe it's in automotive, maybe it's in finance, in stock market as well. The same formula is followed for understanding the risk. What is the risk? Which share is risky? Where is the higher risk? Where is the lower risk? That is important in the business. So the gentleman told that we have to take the risk, but we have to calculated risk. We have to take the calculated risk. So how to do the calculation? This is all about, we have to understand the same tool here I have created. The name of the tool is CARA, Context Analysis and Risk Assessment. So we are just interpreting this. Is this context, is this issue, is internal or external, is positive or negative? And then we will write here the context statement. And then there will be the risk associated in that. Let's say there is a context. Let's say the context of the organization is having high number of breakdown in the machine. The problem is in machine. We understood the 4M, man, machine, material, method. In that, machines are having problem. And in that, machine has a higher number of breakdown. Is a context. What is the risk? So the risk is our productivity is not meeting. Our return on investment is not meeting. We have a loss. There might be breakdown. Due to breakdown, there might be some unsafe conditions also may be raised. And there is one more is the reason. So reason of the breakdown, higher number of breakdown, it can be technology, it can be electric connection, it can be uses. The people are not trained how to use it. The usability can be the reason. It's a number of possibilities. So in these combination, what is the probability of risk? What is the probability of losing business or reducing productivity? So we have to rate it here, the probability rating. We can take a Likert scale, which is 1 to 5. 1 is lowest, 5 is highest. We have to measure it. Let's say X organization is having high number of breakdown issues in their machine. And in that, their productivity is because of that reduced. So they are observing that. So the probability is higher. Business is getting reduced because of the higher number of breakdowns. So probability is higher of the issue. And the severity is also higher because it's a directly business loss. So in that case, let's say we are considering here probability is 4, severity is also 4. So 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. So the maximum risk rating can be possible is 25. And the lowest is possible is 1 into 1 is 1. So 1 to 25 rating, if we consider the probability and severity rating is 5, 1 to 5 scale, so is 16 out of 25. It's a high risk. So there must be in that proportionate, we have understood the proportion of the risk. So the risk proportion is not 1. Risk proportion is here is 16. So it will be action plan should be accordingly. So organization can arrange, there might be multiple actions possible. Organization can improve the technology, they can train the people how to use the machine, they can install a generator set to reduce the electricity failure issues and all that. And there should be, if we plan some actions, there should be target date for that, and responsible person from the organization should be nominated in this. So this is the tool we can use for understanding or reducing the risk or taking the calculated risk. Here standard doesn't say the action must be eliminating the risk. The actions to be addressed. Here we have to understand, well, the actions to be addressed. The addressing is important, not eliminating. So all about, I think, thank you very much for this topic, understanding the risks and opportunities. In this, opportunities also can come out from this, and we can measure the opportunities also. Where the positive things are considered is opportunity. The third meaning of opportunity is the internal, external, positive issue. So if we put the opportunity, the third meaning, to action here, stop the producing Qualys because they had the opportunity. The context statement of was the the taxi segment, the entire brand Toyota was considered into the taxi segment. And then in that case, the opportunity was, they found opportunity for other products to be sold, not only Qualis. And because of Qualis only selling, it's a good quality, the other products are not getting sold out. The reason is that. So their margin, their profit margin, the risk is the profit margin is reducing. So they can increase the profit. They have opportunity to increasing the profit by taking the action like the stopping the production of Qualis. So this is the third meaning of opportunity, where we understood three different synonyms of the same term of opportunity here. And I would like to invite any questions. Please, you can ask any questions. We have sufficient time for discussing on that. I think these are my contact numbers. SamratAssociates.com is our business website, and my profile website is abhimanyusamrat.com. You can find it, what I'm doing, where I have improved. It's my objective to keep on updating on monthly basis what I am doing. Always we are changing something in my profile. I'm updating myself in this case. So thank you very much, ICS. Thank you so much, Sundar Kataria ji, for inviting, and keep on our relation upgraded like this. We keep on updating knowledge like this kind of opportunities giving to the world. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation and explaining topic in simplifying way. So now I request all the participants and delegates, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask directly to the sir, or you can put your questions in the chat box also.
Good afternoon, sir. It was a very nice presentation and making it very simplified. The risk and opportunity that every standard is demanding for the management system concern. Sir, my question is, I'm also an auditor. My question is, many organizations rather going for the quantitative assessment, risk assessment, they go for the qualitative, just high, medium, and low. And they will have their own matrix of low, medium, and high, and that table, depending upon the low, medium, high individual rating, they calculate the overall risk for particular parameter or particular aspect. So is it acceptable, or it can give them the input that you should go for the quantitative rather than qualitative risk assessment?
Yes, so even this 1 to 5 rating, I really appreciate your question. This is so relevant question you asked. I'm happy to answer on this because, see, after all, if you want to utilize these activities in future in any other statistical modeling, so in the world, if you want to do, let's say for ANOVA test or chi-square test, in statistical testing, you need a data with the 1 to 5 scale, where the Likert was a scientist. He given this scale, so we call it's a Likert scale or Likert type scale, where the scale is showing highly satisfied to highly dissatisfied. So 5 represent highly satisfied and 1 represent highly dissatisfied. See, understand here, there is no 0. Here is 1 to 5 scale. If you are giving, there are so many research Likert did, in thousands of millions of research he did, and after that his research is come up with this scale is utilized if it will give the more structured way the results. So I recommend, it's not standard doesn't say you have to use this model. Say this Kara model I prepared and I'm showing here. This is like my intellectual property. But the point is, standard doesn't say like you have to do Kara, you have to do SWOT analysis. Standard say you have to identify your internal and external issues and you have to address that. You can do in your essay writing also. So it doesn't mean like you are doing wrong. So I don't say you are doing wrong for 1, 2, 3 rating. Low, medium, high is also a qualitative analysis, and this 1 to 5 rating is also giving the more like is it is giving little more higher constructive way of giving justification. So in research, most of the market research, they are happening with the 5-star rating. Why the 5? Why the 5 star? So this Likert scale is used everywhere in the world, and that's why I recommend that we should use this five star rating. So 1 to 5 rating. These all things are same.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very correct, sir. There are one or two questions in the chat box. If you can refer
Yeah,
that, or
yeah.
Vaibhav can just read out the chat, the questions given in that.
Yes, sir. So is there any question? I think Katare sir have
Yeah,
questions, so please welcome
yeah,
Katare
yeah.
sir.
Very good afternoon, Dr. Abhimanyu Samratji. And you have explained this in very simple way, and it was easy to understand. And all the basic things you covered it a very detailed one, how it can be related to our ISO 9001, not only 9001, but other standard also. My compliment to you, and your organization is almost 20 years old, and you have provided consultancy to so many organizations across the country and abroad also. I was also amazed to see the languages. You are also master of languages. Compliment, sir.
Thank you
My
so much.
few question, if you see some of the food industries and the medical devices, now India has been trying to improve on that, and a lot of action has been taken, and FSSI and a lot of MDR 17 has come up, and CDSCO also doing very well. But my thing is there, we do ISO, we have certified almost 12,000 organizations across India and abroad. But my thing is that when we go to do the audit, this clause on context, people spend very little time, and it is done just for the formality's sake. I'm sorry to say, I'm not referring to corporate organization where it is very structured and everything. But when you go to small organization, MSME, so it is done very well, but very sketchy. It doesn't give you opportunity for the improvement. As you have cited some information about Amul, how the opportunity was they could achieve. Uh, and I've seen they have been very regular putting more and more product in India. Not only that, but they have also capturing the market in UAE and Gulf countries. That's very good. Even I learned that in USA also they have put some plants now.
It
That's
is
very good. So my question is that why it is one time only? This has to be a dynamic thing. Risk and opportunity has to
yeah.
be dynamic thing. At least once in a year when we do audit, we should see any improvement has been done. What you say about it, please let me know.
Yeah,
And
so
many times, as an auditor, I'm also looking into negative things rather than positive.
yeah, I understand. So see why what happens like I really appreciate your comments on our organization, and yeah, and Amul is a news like this year onwards. Amul become the number one FMCG of the country. So now HUL is not number one this year. In last more than 3 decades or 4 decades, like more than 40 years, the HUL was number one FMCG of the country. But now Amul become the number one. So there are more than 20 lakh uh, crore company in the turnover perspective. So and they have more than 200 plants, and each plant is more than, approximately, if we average it out, each plant is 100 crore investment for each plant. So it's a huge brand. With respect to your question, is organization is given very less time in this. That is the point. Who is their mentor? First of all, who is training them? That is the big gap. Or the trainers themselves have not understood these requirements well, and or otherwise there is one more thing is real efforts are needed, because this particular clause is given when I discussed with Nigel Croft in 2015, when we invited him here in India for taking a journey of how making of ISO 9001 2015. It was a session. It was a whole day seminar we invited for, and in that he said this earlier standard, ISO standard, was where the consultant, you hire a consultant and he just do a cut, copy, paste duplication, and it was possible. But by these two clauses, each and every organization is different. Their contexts are different. Their man, machine, material, method are different, though they are in the same industry. So they have to do a different analysis. Here, the consultant or the team, the project team, the implementation team has to perform. And how they are trained, mainly, they need a real training about this. This is a gap, big gap, where our fraternity has failed of imparting a proper training for them. And second thing is, the standard straight away says we have to keep on review. It is the requirement of the standard. Both the clauses is showing that even the SWOT analysis we have to review, and the CARA, the 6.1 is also asking for the review. We have to keep on updating. So as I said, where we are doing SWOT, I given a time frame, let's say 6 months, the current present tense I wanted to communicate. Current present tense means last 6 months to next 6 months. That only you have to think about. Make it, what are the issues, and care about that. So after 6 months, or maybe you can consider this tenure, if you have so many issues, you can consider your tenure is less, last 3 months to next 3 months. So every 3 months you have to update. If you have less issues, if you have less problems, your business is standardized, your business is going smooth, you can expand the span, and we can consider 6 months. So then every 6 months we have to keep on updating these SWOT and CARA analysis. This is essential requirement. Now most of the organization who are conscious, who are really wanted to implement management systems in their places, they really want improvements, they keep on updating. The top management is expecting my team is doing this context analysis and risk assessment properly or not. In management review meeting, I saw so many CEOs, so many MDs, owners, proprietors of the business. Their conscious is on that. How many issues are, how many actions are covered, what we decided 6 months ago, risk probability and severity has reduced or not. That means they are trained. They know this is the technique we can use, we can reduce our problem. Otherwise, the proprietorship firm or a small organization, they have all their issues in their mind, and the only top management is responsible. In this tool, in this way, we consider the entire organization, the core team, the project team is responsible for recovering from these issues. So this is a good example. I think
Thank you.
keep on updating for the quarter or the 6 months at least. It is essential.
Thank you, Dr. Avenu. My another question is about now we are doing a lot of medical devices certification. When it's come to act legal requirement, regulation requirement, or applicable standard requirement, unfortunately, our industry is not understanding our national standard requirements. like BIS has number of standards and all those things for electrical safety, and then there are a lot of things on dental also. They have a lot of guidelines are there, but people do not have the knowledge about it. And then they say we have followed international requirements, where the product is going to be launched in India. So they have to follow also the Indian requirement.
Yeah, in that case, their foreign competitors are following Indian requirement because they have to follow their legal compliances. Their legal says follow law of the land, and they are following BIS standard. But here, Indian organizations, their Indian companies are not like that. Is there? The main thing is standard always create the trust. So it is the organization responsibility to create the trust, to maintain the trust. So when Nigel Croft was assigned by United Nations he did the research in 2008. When the 2008 version came, Nigel Croft was called. See, the 2008 version was supposed to come in September. On December 15th December 2008 it was came. But in the month of September, October, he was invited by United Nations. United Nations understood that this coming standard is nothing, no improvement in this. It's just like a cosmetic change they have done, and the committee is like that, and they've enjoyed the meetings and they finished this. So there is no improvement in the world. So United Nations given the task to Nigel Croft, and Nigel Croft has started research of different 16 countries. And after that, I was also part of that research at that time. And at the end, he submitted the result to the United Nations, and that presentation of the research, the output of the research, where he was delivering. At that time, I said this: the trust on the organization, the ISO as a brand, as the name on the organization, the trust, because it is the responsibility of the ISO to keep on maintaining the trust. So there is once upon a time we know the IAF, International Accreditation Forum, who controls the accreditation. The accreditation controls the certification body. Certification body gives awards and certificates. The tree of accreditation system, if we understood, but there is a parallel tree is created by some competitors, and they have no connection with ISO as an organization. So what? That's a question of trust. So it is the inherent responsibility of the ISO itself. So the question was asked, and he straight away took that question, and I think he was stuck on that, and he said, okay, I understood your question, and I will definitely take this to the chairman and I will communicate, but I don't have answer because I'm not responsible for the entire ISO, and your question is very valid. So in Indian context, I understand that in India, the trust factor we have not created, or we are failing. Though we have improved in last decade, fantastically, we are improving. BIS awareness has increased a lot, and the acceptance in international market is also there because of the electronic products. By law, it is mandatory. But the trust factor we have to increase. If we increase our internal trust, then only it will be reflected in the international market.
Right. Thank you, Dr. So we will be in touch with you, and we'll have many more opportunity.
Yeah.
I would also like to meet you in person. Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from Ahmedabad here. Welcome to here.
Quite close, not very far off. I'm at Bombay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. I think there are some other questions also.
I think Mr. Harish wrote some in chat box. Mr. Harish, you want to ask something? Okay, sometimes it is difficult to understand the probability factor, especially when uncertainties are there. For example, during COVID period. So again, the valid question, the probability, to understand probability, when you start measuring probability, at that time, your experience will affect that. Your experience can influence you. So at that time, you have to understand your tenure is current present tense. So your last 6 months to next 6 months. Is it any probability in this tenure? Then only you put it. And every 6 months, you have to keep on updating it. So there is no risk in that. So probability calculation, if you are facing any problem, you have to understand the tenure. The risk assessment is not for lifetime. The SWOT analysis, the CARA analysis, you are not doing for the entire life. This analysis is expected to be done for the current present tense. If you come up with that, I think the problem will be resolved. I think other question is already discussed, effectiveness and efficiency of the quality management system. If you are doing a 6 monthly regularly, you keep on watching, you are addressing your questions, your issues, it can be solved fantastically.
Dr. Abhinav Anand here from. I have one question. As you have in detail, you have explained risk and opportunity.
Yeah.
But opportunity, when we talk about, it is not seen anywhere in the organization or during the process of audit. And in your presentation also, that opportunity word and focus.
I think, Mr. Anand, your voice, your audio is mute.
Yeah. So I was asking that opportunity is hardly or merely being discussed or given a importance during the system implementation, which is a more important than the risk.
You can be. I don't say it is more or less. Yeah.
But it is not.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt, but it is not reflected anywhere in any of the presentation in yours and in any other risk and opportunity presentation. Because opportunity is somewhat which is very important, which a business and propulsion of business is very important.
No, it's not the correct thing. I think you might have missed something. If you see, I discussed the real meaning of opportunity, and there are 3 different meanings we discussed about opportunity. And so many times I discuss about the opportunity. You might have missed it. There are 3 different meanings. So your question is very valid. It is my experience also in the industry. People like the opportunity is very least discussed, and only people are discussing about the risks. That is correct. So the opportunity has a dictionary meaning. The opportunity of the SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, this is different. And the opportunity, risk and opportunity is also different. So these 3 things we have to understand in a different aspect. And here, your question is relating here. The risk and
No voice, please. No voice.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I can hear.
So I said the risk and opportunities are very less. So most of the organization have only discussed about the risk. If you see there, they have risk statements only. Their opportunities are rarely. So it is very difficult to understand the positive issue. Let's say a normal positive issue in every organization is training. Training is a non-value adding activity actually with respect to lean aspect. So training is important. It's positive thing. We must give training. for improvement in the organization, it is essential. But when you are embodying training, your people are engaged for that hours, but they were not recruited for training. They were recruited for running the machines. So machines are getting stopped during that period of time. So the positive thing, but there is a issue. So it's a positive issue. And positive issue finding is a very, very difficult task. So that's why I have to, if you ask me, like I have also very few examples of giving a positive issue. I said like Amul or Toyota or this training, these are the few examples which can be noted out. It is very difficult after experienced people also very rarely understand there is a chances of opportunity for improvement. And that's why these all management systems auditors role is coming. Auditors are going companies to company, they understand the product, they suggest, hey, there is opportunity for improvement for your organization. And that's why they are appreciated by top management. All these auditors are appreciated because of that, because they have experience. So experience is needed for identifying the opportunity. And the world is having only 5-year experience of understanding this for quality management system aspect. So I think experience will come after a couple of years. We may see the people are learned, trained, and they have started identifying opportunities also with risk. And risk is very, very easy to understand. People become more conscious where the risk is in front of them, and it is good. It is good to reduce the negatives, and then you start thinking for improvement from your positives. And it is, I don't think is any problem. But your question is very valid. It is less utilized or less concentrated point. That is very fact.
Yeah,
I think,
thank you.
I like even the comment on that on your question. Is it okay?
Yeah, absolutely correct. And this is actually the point now industry is seen having a good risk assessment being done. But in case of the opportunity, people are just having a lot of debates in that. And it is very difficult to seek any document from them for relevant, because opportunity is little tricky thing which has to be done.
Yeah, I understand your concern, and really I want to say here why I took this topic. When ICS contacted me, what topics are you want to deliver, and I said I want to take this topic, and the intention of this topic is to make understand people these 3 different synonyms of the same term, the opportunity. So people don't understand these 3 different meaning of the opportunity, and they mix up, and that's why they are failing in front of auditors for the representation. It's not their efforts are wrong. They are doing efforts, but the understanding of these terms are difficult. And that's why if you see the latest standard, I want to say here, if you want to understand well, see, ISO 9001 was in 2015 and 14 was also then the same day. But 45001 is the standard, has a 2 significant fantabulous information in that standard. One is the definition of opportunity. If you see there is a definition of opportunities in the 45001 standard. It will give this answer, what I'm giving this. Okay. And in that standard, if you read the preface, the clause number 0.3 and 4, you will find they have given the options where the self-motivated, self-declaration of ISO standard is also acceptable, where the standard says there are 4 objectives of implementing these standards. One is self-declaration, second is self-declaration with the expert, third is customer audit, second party audit, or fourth is a third party audit. So these 4 options, they are clearly guiding in the standard itself. So these 2 beautifully phrased ideas are given in the latest standard, because it is in 2018, it has came after 2015. So it is latest version. So we can follow that latest version of the management system standards. It's there.
Yeah, one more thing, Anandji, I would like to clarify. When they are preparing their annual plan and strategy and budget, I think they are supposed to also discuss the opportunity. What the new activity, new area, new technology, and what the new resources required, training, competence, HRD. So I think that if organization is proactive, they will cover under that and they will prepare the objective and the target and strategy accordingly. What do you say, Dr. Samra?
I have a little doubt on that. So again, that is why I said I'm sorry for that. But if you refer the 45,001 standard and the definition of opportunity in that, it will clearly saying that the positive issues we have to identify. So that is what I want to correlate here.
And I have also seen, like Dr. Kataria is saying, in the management review meeting, there's an agenda for opportunity for improvement, and they proudly say nil. They proudly say nil. And any of the management review meeting you take, any of the big organization,
No, that's not a good sign.
that's not a good sign. And that is the focus of now, because we are able to penetrate the risk understanding to the individual, where we have to work it on how the people understand the opportunities, what all the opportunities are there. And here, that was my question actually, and you have rightly answered. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir. So, sir, there is one more question from Mr. Nagaraju sir in the chat box.
Any changes as per AMD1? So I am not aware about AMD1. I will definitely refer it and then I will come back to you. It is latest standard. I understand that. 4.1 and 4.2, any changes if it is there? I don't have come across that. I think Mr. Sundar Kataria can put some light on that if it is. Sundar sir? Or you can contact me directly after this, Mr. Nagaraj.
No.
I will refer and I will definitely come back to you.
Okay. Okay. So, is there any question? So I think, sir, there is no more questions. So can we move ahead, sir?
Yeah, please. It's
Okay.
my pleasure to being with you and thank you very much. You
Yes,
can
thank you,
contact
sir.
on our contact details. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
ICS plays to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above book, please contact me, Sushma Tindalkar, on the given contact details. Feedback form, please register on www.sadgunsung.org and go in your login and give your valued feedback to us. So thank you, Abhimanyu sir. Thank you all the participants and delegates for being a part of Sadgun Sun. So now it's time to officially close the session. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.